We're going to do a little bit of review today, and that's basically finding missing angles from figures. And we're also going to throw in a little bit of new material to kind of take us further down this path. Right now, you should be looking at this and realize that you're looking at complementary angles right here. And that means that we can add this angle that I'm painting in yellow with this angle that I'm painting in green together, and they should equal 90 degrees. So it's this idea of B plus 54 would equal 90. To solve for B, or that unknown angle, you would just subtract 54 from both sides. And you find out very quickly that B would equal 36. So B is equal to 36 degrees. When we come over and we look at this type of situation, because these two angles are sitting on a straight line, we realize very quickly that it is a supplementary angle situation. That means that these two angles, B plus 131 degrees, would equal 180. So if we set up our equation this way, we can actually now go and solve. And we do that by subtracting 131 from both sides. And B would be equal to 49 degrees, because 49 plus 131 is 180. When we come over here, we have the vertical angle situation. So, here's B. It's this angle right here. Two angles are intersecting, and it's vertical to angle 53. So we would say that B is equal to 53 degrees, and it's actually already solved for us there. This angle here in green is equal to this angle here. When we get to this situation, this is where people usually have a momentary pause until they start to see what you can do. We know that together these two angles are 90 degrees. So it's this basic idea of where here's 46 degrees. So let me write 46. And we're going to add it to this angle. Well, we don't know exactly what this angle is, but it's represented with 4x. So let's just do 46 plus 4x equals 90 degrees. Because again, they're complementary angles. And now you just go and solve like you've always done with these equations. This is actually a two-step equation that you've created. This cancels out, 4x drops down, and we've got 44 left over here. So now we can divide both sides by 4. And we find out quickly that x is equal to 11. So if they said solve for x, we have that. If they want to know how much this angle is, well, 11 times 4 would make this 44 degrees, because we know what x is now. Here's number 5. This is a supplementary angle location, so you have to be very careful. You can't just add these two angles together and have it equal to 90, because they're supplementary. That means together it should be 180. So it's 100 degrees, which we don't need to write the degree sign in our equation. 100 plus 2x plus 14. And I'll show you what's happening here with this part. And we did say that together they're equal to 180 degrees, but I'll show you what's happening with those parentheses. When we add, that's the same as if there was a plus 1 there, where 1 times 2 is positive 2x, and 1 times positive 14 is positive 14. So basically, there was no reason to actually write the parentheses around this one where we use that plus sign. If it was a minus sign, that would be different. But since it's a plus sign right here, we don't care. Basically, it's as if we wrote it without the parentheses, and it's because the distribution got rid of them without any changes. So 100 plus the 14 are like terms, so we need to go ahead and combine them. And now we just go and solve 114 plus 2x equals 180. Doing this in my head, so I'm hoping I'm not making any mistakes. So if they said solve for x, guess what? You've solved for x. If they said, would you please tell me how much this angle is? Well, that means that you have to place 33 in for that x right there. And 33 times 2 is 66, and 66 plus 14 is 80. And you tell me if that makes sense. Should this angle be 80 degrees? Well, 100 plus 80 is 180, so yes, and it looks like we've got the right answer. So it just kind of depends, do they want the angle measurement or do they want the x? And I think I've got 3 other quick examples that we'll go through real quick. Here's a situation that may confuse a few people here. So let me get my highlighter out. This is a straight line right here, and it continues on. And they give us the right angle sign to the right of this line. Well, that means this whole thing is 90 degrees right here. Well, this angle right here should also be 90 degrees because it should be supplementary with this angle. So anytime they give you a right angle sign on one side of a line, you can normally continue that to the other side if this line shoots on through like this. So that tells me that these two angles together, the 5x plus 2 and the 2x plus 4, should be added together. And again, what I've done here is I've just said here's the first angle added to the second angle should equal 90 degrees. They're complementary. And now we just go and combine 5x plus 2x is 7x. And then 2 plus 4 is 6. And we're ready to solve now. So x equals 12. So if they just want the x, you're done. If they want the angle measurement, though, again, that means that the 12 would be inserted to both equations. 12 times 5 is 60, and 60 plus 2 is 62 degrees. 12 times 2 is 24, and 24 plus 4 is 28 degrees. Now, 7 and 8, these are a little bit different. They are vertical angles, and you have to remember what vertical angles are. It's where they're across from each other in this crisscrossed fashion, and both angles are exactly equal to each other. Now stop and think about that. If this is 81 degrees, then it means this has to be 81 degrees. So we already know what this angle is as far as the measurement. But what does the x have to be? Well, what it means is that 6x plus 3 would actually be equal to 81. So as a result, we just go and solve. See, we're not having to add these up to equal 90 or 180. We just know that they're equal to each other. So we literally write 6x plus 3 is equal to 81. And since this is a plus 3, the 3 is being added to the x, we can just do the opposite and minus 3 from both sides. And we get 6x equals 78. Divide both sides by 6 to free the x up. 6 goes into the 7 once. Got 1 left over. Bring down the 8. 6 goes in 18 3 times. So, 6 times 13 is 78, and 78 plus 3 is 81, just like we said it should be. So let's try this last one right here. Again, we have vertical angles from each other. So 4x plus 3 equals 63. These two angles are equal to each other. And now we can go solve. X equals 15. If you plug it in, you'll get 63 as well.